Leo, welcome to Fargo Talks. What got you to do what you do now at your level?
During COVID, I was really just looking for any way where I can make an impact in Vegas. I came out to Vegas with a vision, with a passion, and the pandemic left me in a position where, hey, I can get more money than I did in my job at the time, which is crazy.
What got you bit by the content creation bug?
It was my fiance, a friend of hers, did like some stupid video on TikTok and it got like 14 million views. It was something so stupid that just went viral.
What happened? What were like some benchmark things that just happened?
First one was a food truck review. I just went up to a food truck, had no idea what the I was doing. I didn't even know other people did food reviews in town, by the way. But the third video was streetwear shops in the wind. 250,000 views.
How do you stay fresh and ahead of trends?
And I think I'm just really engaged all the time. Just try to come out first, or come out ahead, and intuition is important, man.
Welcome to Fargo Talks.
Fargo Talks.
Fargo Talks.
This is Fargo Talks.
Yeah, I started in 93, 94. And so I just give credit where credit's due that your content is just fucking on point, man.
Thank you, man.
It's so good. And so, Daniel, Leo, welcome to Fargo Talks.
Thank you.
It's nice because most people see you, it's a voiceover.
Right.
I think maybe 20, 30% of your content you're in.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah, I think ish, yeah.
Right? And so this is a nice way to give a more dynamic 360-degree view of you and your brand to go, hey, you're a real guy and with views and opinions, and you're not just some schlub that's like, hey, your restaurant is fucking opened and try their fucking chicken nuggets.
Right, exactly.
Right?
I did that run around and all that. It's cool. I mean, the food side is cool, but I don't know, I'm always looking to make a bigger impact, and I don't always have to be in the content to do that. Sometimes the content just speaks for itself and the voice speaks for itself. So
what got you bit by the bug, like the content creation bug, to do what you do now at your level?
Well, I'm definitely a student of YouTube. I think that's one thing. But during COVID, I was really just looking for any way where I can make an impact in Vegas. I came out to Vegas with a vision, with a passion, and the pandemic left me in a position where, hey, I can get more money than I did in my job at the time, which is crazy. I was making more money unemployed than I would have at my job. So I was like, if I'm going to make something happen in Vegas, it's going to happen now. So the content creation bug really hit. It was my fiance, a friend of hers, did like some stupid video on TikTok. It was like, I think it was fucking early 2020, and it got like 14 million views. It was something so stupid that just went viral. And I'm like, if something that dumb can go fucking viral, let me go provide some value and see what I can do, and just put how I feel out there and see what happens. And first one was a food truck review. I just went up to a food truck, had no idea what the fuck I was doing, and didn't even know other people did food reviews in town, by the way. I had no clue. So I go and I just do my thing. I got like 20,000 views or whatever. So it was pretty solid. It was good, especially for the first video. But it was easier to get views back then. But the third video was streetwear shops in the wind. I just went to the wind. I'm fucking stuttering in the video. I'm like, it's run here, this store. So I'm walking around doing this shit. And I'm just showing these stores in the wind, and 250,000 views. So that was the third video. So then I just took it from there, and that was it.
Is it something, so let's fast forward for a second. By the way, I have ADHD. I take enough Adderall to kill a fucking family of 4, so I'll jump all over the place. If that's exhausting, we can like pause and take a nap.
No, it's okay. I'm on caffeine and mushrooms right now, bro. We're good, yeah. Have you ever had these?
No.
These are so fucking good, man. At Smith's, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, they have these. So good.
No paid ad, but goddamn. All right, I'll try it.
Not paid, but yeah, definitely.
Thank you. What got you from, I want to talk a little bit about that first, like, fumbling around. We all look at anyone that's in this, you look at your first videos, you're like, oh my God, what a fucking train wreck that is.
Exactly.
Who's going to watch this guy?
Yeah.
To where you are now. What happened? What were like some benchmark things that just happened? Or is it just reps? Is it just getting up every day and shooting more content, and you learn maybe a little bit or more or less from each piece that you're posting?
I'd say it's reps and intuition. I think it was just trying to make the next piece of content better than the last one. So those reps, right? And putting in good reps. You could put in shitty reps in the gym and still, not get any gains, right? So you got to put in good reps. And intuition is important, man.
you kind of learn with each time you post who your audience is.
Yeah.
It's your engagement.
Right.
You get feedback on male, women, black, white, Latino, Chinese, whatever. And you kind of just get a feeling of what they want. You never post for your audience. You post for you, and your audience gets pulled into you.
Yeah, it takes on a life of its own, you would say. Yeah, there's an analog. You see the comments, you see the data, it goes into your brain, and then that takes on a life of its own, and then you're able to follow that, your intuition with that.
Yeah.
And just build better.
I think that's what you build from.
Yeah.
Is you just I did a pivot. I had and she's a whopper influencer in the healthcare field, and she's a nurse.
Yeah.
And she was in town. She came on. The past 2 clips we've done, I post everywhere. My team does, we're everywhere, clips 5 days a week. The past 2 on TikTok, and now the TikTok is doing collaborations, which is fucking awesome.
That's
Thank
sick.
you, China. Like, Jesus, finally, they fucking got a clue.
Right.
The past 2 are over 200,000 views. And have but also it's nurses. So most of my audience was male dominated. Now it's becoming more female because now a bunch of nurses are following me. I'm engaged to a nurse, so I can say this. All nurses are fucking nuts. They're all insane. Like to do what they're doing for that pay and that abuse they're taking, you've got to have something wrong with you to help out people. And so they're so opinionated, but also just wanting to vent. I've never had, usually I reply to every comment. I try to.
Yeah.
But with this, I just kind of sit back and watch.
Right.
And let the conversation between the comments and you watch that stuff. Have you posted stuff that was just not negative, but something that you just knew, man, this could probably, get some people's fire lit under their ass, and it did?
I'd say so, yeah. I think I try to hold off from it now just because it just kind of depends. If it feels natural to me and it feels like something I should post that feels authentic, then I will do it. But I can't think of a piece of content that really did that. So
good for you.
Yeah.
Have you posted anything? It's one more question about this one, where you posted it, you're like, whatever, just post it and see what happens. And you got negative feedback on that post.
Oh, I do. Yeah. I think that's often I get that.
Do you really?
So, oh yeah.
What are some of the negative stuff?
Sometimes it's a voice thing, and it's just haters more than anything else. I think it's more personal. So, and it's never about something I said or something I do. It's just a personal thing.
I think it's because your accent is very similar to, I'm from upstate New York.
Yeah.
So it's very similar. And I've been gone now. I left Canandaigua in 2005. Was in St. George, Utah for a while. Been here for 13 years.
Right.
So I've somewhat lost my accent. But with the A's and the A's, you can kind of still, it'll come out sometimes.
Yeah.
When I go back home, it's all over the place.
Right.
I'm drinking Jenny Light fucking beer and hanging out in prime rib buffets, and everyone there has a giant gut with 3 chins, and it's fucking hysterical.
It comes out. Yeah.
It comes out.
Yeah. Your voice changes depending on who you're around. So
you're mirroring your environment.
Yeah,
somewhat.
Exactly.
So I think that happens, but I think, and also I'm a much smaller level than you. I'll get like, well, you're bald. Okay. Fucking bald. I don't give a shit. You're old. Okay. You're going to be old someday too. I hope you get old.
Yeah.
But that's part of the double-edged sword of doing this and putting content all the time and building an audience. People think it's all unicorns jumping through rainbows.
Yeah.
And you really have to have a tortoiseshell on your back and not give permission to people to offend you.
And it's crazy, too, because that used to just be a world that celebrities lived in. And now we're all, in a way, micro-celebrities, right? So influencer culture, that's what it is. Content creator culture.
It is something that, and you're big on this, and I love it, how you're big with flying the flag of the regular way to get your news is going with the way of the dodo bird. That content creators are the ones who are bringing unfiltered stories to the audience. Yep. It's not left, it's not right, it's just, here it is.
Yeah, and some people are more left and right, and I think that's okay, right? So, but it comes from a more independent perspective instead of a manufactured perspective.
Absolutely. Yeah. Where we don't have editors, there's no producer in my ear telling me what to say.
Right.
I'm open by saying, I'm a registered independent. I'm voting for Trump this year just because business-wise, my opinion, it's just I feel he's better than someone that has never been in that position before.
Yeah, and that's valid. Yeah.
And to me, that's valid, and that's just how it is. I'll get lit. If this gets clipped, I'll get lit up for it. Okay, because I let people have their opinion as well. I don't block them. You know what? That's the beauty of living in America.
Yeah.
You can tell me to fuck off.
And that's the beauty of Vegas, too. Vegas is the core independent. I mean, if any city or anything, any state could be considered independent, it's Vegas and it's Nevada. That's where we live.
Do you think that I love that point? The melting pot that is Vegas. How long have you been here?
Man, it's going by fast now. I think 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been here long enough. You've seen ups and downs through COVID.
Right.
And everything, which was bananas.
Yeah.
What do you feel about the Californication of Vegas? Whenever, like with my audience, I see content when I put out and they'll say, you can come here, just don't bring your politics. And California drivers are always in the left-hand lane on the 215, driving 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Super slow. What are your feelings on the California migration of people coming to Vegas?
It's always been kind of happening, right? I think it's kind of just embedded in what Vegas is. So I think it's just more mainstream now and easier to talk about. And, you got Boise, Idaho talking about the Californication of Boise, Idaho. So it's kind of just a hot topic, I think. And it's just always been apparent and it's been a part of Vegas. So people going back and forth.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
My fiance, I moved her out. She's from Tampa.
Yeah.
And there was people, I would talk to friends out there that people from California moving to Tampa. And some like it, some don't. And it's the one state that everyone's leaving.
Yeah. It hasn't changed anything here, I don't think. I mean, people move from all over to come here. Prices do increase, obviously. And Vegas is just growing as a culture. So I haven't seen any apparent changes in terms of the city. I think there's just been growth more than anything else. But I don't feel like we lean more liberal. I think, if anything, we're still independent.
I haven't seen it.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I have friends up in Carson City. And I mean, it's, yes, the Senate and the House are Democratic majority, but I mean, our governor's Republican.
Right.
And so there's still some checks and balances there. There's no super majority yet. No one likes that.
Yeah.
No one likes that. I don't care, Republican or Democrat. I don't want to see that at all. No one should have that much power.
Yeah.
Then they really tend to fuck things up. It's bananas. And so I just think that it's different times right now that we're in. Locally, nationally, it's crazy. I was born, at 69. My president was Ronald Reagan. That guy I was like, oh my God, like our Cold War with Russia ended. Berlin Wall came down. He was an actor that was a governor and came in and just did great.
And he had the Make America Great Again was his slogan. So
how funny is that, by the way? I said to Scott, who's here, I proposed to my girlfriend, now fiance, at the Cosmo on Friday.
Yeah.
And we went to the next morning. So got a suite, did the whole thing, then celebrated at the Chandelier Bar and got shit-faced. It was fucking great. Oh my God, it was wonderful.
Chandelier Bar, yeah.
Chandelier Bar's just
awesome old fashions.
The old fashions are fantastic.
Excellent.
And there's nothing, it's like Jesus Christ himself made Luxardo cherries himself and just said, thou shalt fucking, and whatever the families in Italy for a couple hundred years have fucking done these candied cherries. Oh my God. Like, I want to come back my next life as a fucking Luxardo cherry.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fucking delicious.
Jesus Christ. And so I found, we'll do a pivot on this one, the best hangover meal I found in town is egg slut.
Wow. Really?
With the fucking little mason jar of the mashed potatoes with the bread and the egg on top, and you mix it up, and then they've got these hash browns that they deep fry them in duck fat. And the coffee's fantastic.
Sounds, holy shit.
If you haven't gone, you gotta go.
I'll try that. Yeah.
It's
okay.
It's the slut. I think it's called the slut. It's and it's in like a little mason jar.
Okay.
And they give you these long, thick pieces of toast.
Yeah.
That you dip in. It's the presentation's fantastic. It's more of a grab and go place. But we waited maybe under 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we just sat at the counter and fucking ate there. Their coffee is excellent. Like, it's just, everything was check, check, check.
Wow. Okay.
And 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. And it was, but also we're hungover as hell. But it was either like that or there's Starbucks, and there's like the diners they all have. But egg slut was award winning.
Wow.
And again, I have no fucking, it's not paid. It's just, they were fantastic. Best hungover meal I ever had in my entire life.
Okay. Well, when I'm off my fast, I'll go and I'll try it.
Go.
So,
That's what a way to break your fucking fast is. Oh my God.
I'll ease my way into it, but yeah.
Oh my God. So where and what, and if they're different, that's fine. Where and what is your absolute favorite thing to eat in Las Vegas?
What to eat or favorite place, would you say?
Both.
Both? Okay.
Where's your favorite place to eat? And then also, what's your favorite thing to eat?
Okay. I think it changes. I think it's such a hard question because it changes so much. I guess I'm a foodie now, so things have rotated. So I guess you can consider that. But man, lately it's been Latai. I've been really going back to Latai. Coconut curry, the short rib fried rice is always fucking amazing there. So Latai is awesome. When it comes to steak, I think I'm still a Golden Steer guy. I still love Golden Steer for the ambiance and all that. So the steak may not be like the best, but it's definitely a top 5. And the ambiance is second to none. So
the booths there,
the
booths are just fantastic.
History. Yeah,
like back when I was single, I'd bring dates there, and like some guy would come over, and he died 2 weeks ago, but nobody told him. He's that old, and he's making your Caesar salad tableside.
Yeah,
and I tell all my friends that come in that want a, somewhat, it's still on the strip, but not really, but to get a vintage Vegas experience, I tell them Golden Steer.
Golden Steer, yeah.
Golden Steer is just where to go, man. And you can order whatever you want. They make a decent old fashioned, and you get the table side Caesar salad.
Yeah,
is fantastic. The bowl's ice cold. The whole thing. Your salad bowl.
It's a bucket list. You gotta check it off. Yeah,
that's just it's that. And then if they're looking for something during the day, is Charleston or Spring Mountain? Gabby Bakery.
Gabby's. Yeah. That's excellent too. Yeah.
Come on.
That's a classic right there.
Come on.
That's where I met. That's where I met my fiance.
Really?
We met at Gabby's. Yeah.
How?
Well, we met up at Gabby's, but yeah.
That was your date?
Yeah. Our date was Gabby's.
Good for you. Good for you. Was that your call to meet there or hers?
I don't even remember at that time. I think it was a mutual thing, but I think it was mutual. You know what? No, because I wanted to get a drink, and I think she changed it and wanted to get coffee, or it was one or the other. But it was like 100 degrees outside, and we're out here getting fucking coffee, and we changed it to getting a drink because we're like, coffee? I don't know, but Gabby's. Yeah, always amazing.
That's it. There's just like a bucket list places. That's also one of them for me.
Yeah, Herbs and Rye.
Herbs and Rye is fantastic.
Yeah, you have to.
Herbs and Rye is fantastic. Sister place Cleaver. But I like Cleaver for the ambiance. I like Herbs and Rye for the menu.
Yeah,
and for the drinks.
Yes, definitely.
Right, like that's Herbs and Rye. I had a friend of mine came in, Brandon Johnston. Brandon from Vegas, right? Yeah. And I love Brandon.
Yeah.
Like Jesus Christ. And he had a great clip that he was like, you can go in there and see people that just got married. You can see people that are celebrities, working girls, like normal people, blue collar, white collar. You want to get a really snapshot of Vegas?
Yeah.
Go there on a Friday or Saturday night.
Yes.
And go to the bar.
That's very well said. Yeah.
Right? It's just Herbs and Rye has it dialed in. They just have it dialed in. And it's funny because Brandon, that's his go-to place. People think and a lot of times this is something we could talk about. People think he's getting paid by them. He's not.
Right.
He's just saying, I love them. So I'm saying that. Do you do paid endorsements with with brands here in town?
With brands here, usually it's more the global brands where I do the collaborations, but I do collaborations in town. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do people often assume you're getting paid when you just go into a restaurant and just say, I had a great meal, this is what I had, and here it is?
Sometimes. I think it depends. It's just, I don't know. I think it depends on who you talk to. But I think in the content, they probably assume I'm getting paid. If they see that, if they've seen that place before, they assume I'm probably getting paid for it. And I'm not always getting paid. So
how often?
More often than not, I'm not.
I was
going to
say, like, what's a percentage? Is it like 70% of your content you're not getting paid?
I'd say about 70%. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, especially with news content now, I think it's about 70%. Yeah.
Well, that's what your news stuff is great because you're on it.
Right.
How do you stay fresh and ahead of trends? Because you're one of the first people coming out with stuff.
Right. I mean, it's always staying engaged. I mean, sometimes I'm getting email blasts and, I'm getting a heads up sometimes, but not often. I think I'm just really engaged all the time. And just try to come out first or come out ahead. And I have kind of a streamlined process of how I do my post. And, it's not rinse, wash, repeat, really, because it's still intuitive. I'm still following my intuition, but I do have a process and a system with how I get my post out. But it's all me doing it.
You post all your own stuff?
I post all my own stuff, yeah. I edit everything. I do the voiceover, everything. It's all me.
Let's talk about that for a second, because everyone thinks content creation is so easy.
No.
And it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Right? It's a pain in the ass. I post my own stuff. I have a team that will take, like, we're at Level 9 Studios here, which Scott Fair is the fucking man. He gives me, when we're done, I'll get a long form edited video.
Right.
And I get that in Google Drive. I then send that to my team. They clip it, caption it, do whatever they want, and then I get it back. I post my own stuff. I love it. And I use ChatGPT and do a whole thing.
Yeah.
For content creators that are just starting out, if you don't share as much as you want or as little as you want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's your, from B-roll, raw footage, from you shoot it to you post it?
In terms of, what's the question?
Walk me through your process of how you create, edit, create the voiceover, everything, and how do you then get it from raw form video to where you've shot the video to go ahead and it's posting on Instagram.
Okay, yeah. No, so everything's done in CapCut. So all through iPhone. I don't even use a mic still. I don't like to use a mic. I had a mic, I didn't like to use it. I didn't like how it sounded. So I just use everything's iPhone and iPhone mic. And just raw clips, put them in CapCut. I typically will do the voiceover first. I'll script a little bit, but I don't script too much. I think when it's a news brief or a news release or something I want to do with the news, I do script that a little bit more because of some of the information. But it's not word per word. So,
do you script just from your brain? Do you use ChatGPT?
Oh no, from my brain. Yeah. I don't use any.
You're just going bareback, man.
Yeah.
Dude, God bless you. How old are you?
30.
You're an old soul. You're an old soul, dude. I mean, I'll be 55 in November, and I'm on ChatGPT every day.
Yeah.
To create my shit. Oh yeah. If you want, I'll fucking walk you through what I do. It's bananas. What platforms do you post to?
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn now, and not Snapchat, TikTok. So
how do you like LinkedIn?
LinkedIn's cool. I'm liking LinkedIn a little bit more. I've been seeing that they rolled out the video feature. It doesn't have the same organic reach that the other platforms do, but I find that I'm getting a better quality of the people that are viewing it. So
it's a different vibe.
It's a different vibe.
Right?
I wouldn't say better quality, definitely a different vibe.
Vibe, because that's more B2B.
Yeah.
That's business to business. Most people there aren't posting about going hiking at Red Rock.
Yeah.
Or doing a baby announcement.
No.
Or gender reveal. You're not putting that on LinkedIn.
No, yeah, and people are actually listening to what you have to say. If I write a very long caption, they're reading it, they're digesting it, and they're making an educated response instead of like barely watching the video through. Like for example, a food review, you always get those comments. I know you've probably seen them too if you're scrolling through. You'll have people like, "What's the address of this place?" And the address is literally in the video. So, yeah, you don't get that on LinkedIn.
I think you have a higher intelligence level audience on LinkedIn.
I won't say it's maybe intelligence level. I think it depends, but I would say just maybe not as short of an attention span is what I'll say.
More intellectual, that they're going to make the investment intellectually to absorb your content.
Yes, they're viewing it from an intellectual perspective.
That's fucking brilliant, dude. I never thought about it that way. It's so, yes, like I'm not blowing smoke up your skirt. That's like I'm a social media guy, and that's like, yes.
Yeah.
Because they're just more dedicated to the content. I think they're more, I think that LinkedIn audience members are more dedicated to absorbing content.
Yeah.
Where if you're on TikTok or Instagram, you're scroll with your thumb.
Right.
I think that's it. What platform do you love the most?
For me, it's Instagram. Well, consumption perspective, I'm still a YouTube guy. I watch a lot of long form YouTube. I'm very like, I don't know. I guess I scroll on Instagram too, though, I guess you would say. So I like Instagram overall.
Are you an Instagram Reels guy? Are you like, you're going through and like just go? Like, I do a lot of that.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
What's your like the algorithm? What type of content are you being presented with?
It's some Vegas stuff, a lot of business, a lot of brand, a lot of inspiration, spiritual. So it's probably not what you think it's going to be based on my content. So, but
that's interesting.
Leans a lot more spiritual.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, again, it's trying to stay one step ahead of your thoughts by listening, even though the phone's off, it's still fucking listening to you. Mm-hmm. And it's what is it that it's going to keep you engaged to stay on there. I'm not a fan now of, I don't mind Facebook. I watch Facebook Reels sometimes too.
Yeah.
I don't like the ads down below.
No.
That I'm getting served with now.
Yeah.
I can't stand that. But like I had one clip with Brandon, I think it was like top 3 strip joints in town. That went over 1 million. I got paid very well on that. Mm-hmm. And that's like one of the first times ever Facebook has paid halfway decent on a piece of content. I'm like, thank you, Mark Zuckerberg. Fucking finally, dude. Finally. But I'm not a fan of those. I'd rather send me something in the middle.
Yeah,
that I can scroll past. I don't like these things on the on the footer.
Yeah, I like how they do it in Instagram. I think that TikTok and Instagram has the ads thing down the most. Facebook, it's a little bit annoying. I Facebook Reels, I actually like consuming though over TikTok. Surprisingly, I'm not a big TikTok viewer. I don't spend time on TikTok.
Same way. I spend, if I'm on TikTok, I'm replying to comments. I'm looking at the analytics to see how my content's performing.
Yes, exactly.
That's all I'm doing.
That's it.
That's all I'm doing. And then now I love like with the collab thing, I love that because like I just had Nurse Erica on and she's over 500,000 on, and she was great. She's like, any collabs, add me, I'll accept it. I'm like, okay, thank you. And I never assume a guest is gonna accept it, but I throw it on there and I ask and go, is that okay? And people usually say yes. Her stuff has gone bananas. And it's been amazing to watch that. So I just take screenshots of the analytics and send it to her. Mm-hmm. And she's dying. We're just like, oh my God. Watch time.
Yeah, I'll say that the analytics for TikTok are way better than Instagram. I will say that.
I love, and I've seen, I think it is TikTok, where if you go on TikTok desktop, the analytics are better. You can go back farther. Yeah, where they don't give you that much time on the when you're in the app, and also for today, I don't know why, but we're the middle to end of September. There's like a 2 or 3 day lag. Mm-hmm. It's not updating.
Yes,
I don't know why, but I'm like, come on.
If you go and you check your followers too on Instagram and your analytics with that, they're a few days behind on that as well. I noticed. Yeah,
I wonder why. Like, is that just lack of server space and they got to fucking catch up, or what is it? But
it could be getting fed so much data. I don't know.
Right? Like that's a weird one. How much of a data geek are you?
Not that much. I would say, I'm more intuitive. So a little bit of data. Yeah, you need it. I pay attention to watch time. I pay attention into certain things, but not too much. I think data changes, man. So
data changes all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. The reason why I do it is more if I'm talking to people that sometimes I charge appearance fees to come on here for people if they're a good fit, but the following's not that big, but we could have a decent conversation maybe. Then there's an appearance fee. So I give them. Here's my. I'm averaging now 7-8 million a month. Yeah, but it's all shorts. Hardly anybody watches long form.
Yeah.
But here's screenshots of, my TikTok past 28 days, Instagram past 28 days, YouTube. I give them all that.
Right.
And say, here's an appearance fee that I charge, or I'm also luckily talking to sponsors now, partners to come in. And so to say, here's my demographics. Mm-hmm. Here's the people that are coming in. And so that's why I do it for that. You're like a lone gunman, man. You're like fast and loose.
Yeah.
You're just like going by, your gut.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I know, some data, I guess, to look back. But, I've been overly analytical in my life, and I find that anytime I get too analytical, I become then a robot, and I'm making content like this is what, so I don't want to be like that.
Ever. Well, and your audience will pick up on that and they're out.
Yeah, exactly.
They're absolutely out. I want to get back to restaurant reviews. And you've been doing this for a while now. 7 years?
Content-wise, no. Been in Vegas 7 years.
Okay, how long for content?
3 years.
Okay, so, Jesus, content for 3 years. Dude, good for you.
Thank you.
Fuck you, by the way. Go fuck yourself. You're an asshole. I love you, but I can say that because you're a fucking Chicago guy and I'm from New York. So it's like, fuck you has 17 different connotations.
Yeah,
it's usually like, I love you, I'm proud of you. So go fuck yourself.
Right.
To be there after 3 years, like, Jesus, Daniel. What restaurant review experience totally surprised you? Just the place just blew you out of the water.
Restaurant experience that surprised me. I say Partage. I think the first time that's the first one that came to me that stood out. The first time I went to Partage, so much better than I expected. So it's excellent.
Why? Was it the food? Was it the environment? Was it the service?
It's all of it. The food, the experience, the environment. Coming from someone who probably never had French dining before at that time, I think maybe one time. But I mean, a French fine dining experience that close to the strip, that in a strip mall, you would never guess it. And now there's so many of those experiences. Now you got like places like Heisaki Sanga. Yeah. Excellent fucking omakase at a great value. So
if you were to have like Dead Man Walking and you're on death row and you've got one final meal, what would it be?
Final meal.
Yep. Your last meal on this planet before the end. What would it be?
It would probably be a chicken parm from somewhere, man. I'm not even specific, honestly. So
just a good, not
really
overly
fucking good chicken parm.
Thick cutlet, not overly tenderized.
Yes.
Light breading.
Yeah, garlic breading for sure. And then just a really damn good sweet marinara sauce and mozzarella cheese.
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
And then a warm bread.
Warm bread, yeah, not cold.
Warm bread to sop would be, that's what my fiance cooks. And whenever she'll cook and whenever she brings bread out to the table, it's always warm. I'm like, I know she hit the lottery with me. She knows it. I'm like, you're guaranteed to have sex with me forever if you're bringing fucking warm bread every single time. Like that is just a pro tip for anyone that's wants a lifelong relationship.
Warm bread.
And if you're either way, the guy cooking, the girl cooking, if you're putting bread on the table, put it in the oven for a little bit, get it warm, and then put it down on the table. Oh my God.
Hits you in the soul, right?
That speaks to places that you just don't speak to. Dude, that's just a whole thing. So you think, chicken parm is your go-to?
Chicken parm, man. Yeah.
Where in town are your favorite places for chicken parm?
It's tough because I'm more of like the fucking strip mall place, right? So I think that's when not the food,
that's okay.
The unfoodie comes out of me.
That's okay.
So,
Wait, tell me where. That's okay.
Man, I would say maybe like a Broadway pizza, I would say. There's one chicken parm specifically at a spot called Tropicana Pizza over in East Vegas. It was actually the first takeout meal I had, not when I moved to Vegas, but when I visited Vegas for the first time. Tropicana Pizza, way out east over there by like Hollywood and Lake Mead. That was like, something about that. It's not the best one, but it just speaks to my soul. I don't know why. It's just that nostalgia.
I love your line, it speaks to my soul.
Yeah.
Because that just paints a picture of like deep, meaningful, and you're a food guy, man.
Yeah.
And we're in the food. I mean, we have the most 5-star restaurants in the whole world is right here. But what people don't know is it's off the strip is where you want to go.
Of course.
Right?
Always.
Like that's where you want to go.
Yeah.
What are some off-strip places that you'd recommend to someone if they're coming to Vegas to get them off the fucking strip and to really take in what Vegas has to offer in terms of dining culture?
I think you're definitely going to have to do Latai. Of course, we talked about that already. You got to go Latai. You got to go Herbs and Rye. You got to go to Esther's Kitchen, of course. If you want like that real true fine, that true Italian, that Vegas local Italian. It's like the Herbs and Rye of Italian. So definitely that. Say Good Pie for sure. And Brooklyn's Best.
Those are great picks.
Yeah.
Those are great fucking picks.
Yeah.
Are there places that have just opened that you've been to that have rocked your world? Restaurants here in Vegas?
So Stay Tuned Burgers, the one over in I forget, it's a pop-up burger joint. So they operate a kitchen out of the Hard Hat Lounge right outside of downtown. Fucking awesome smash burger. Stay Tuned Burgers.
What do you get on your burger?
I'm open, man. I mean, I like I think definitely Chipotle mayo is a must, or In-N-Out, like that In-N-Out style always. Especially now since I moved to the West Coast, it's like you need that. I'm definitely just a double. I'd say definitely double cheeseburger for sure. A good toasted bun. I think that's really about it, man. I think it's just more about the meat and the cheese quality.
What type of meat do they use? Do you know?
I'm not 100% sure,
Okay.
no, but it's a really damn good burger.
I think that you can tell when people give a shit because it's just a better quality of meat,
Yeah,
right? Like, again, it's fast food, but In-N-Out Burger is a solid burger
yeah,
for the price. And like, I'm in Henderson, so the one on St. Rose is near me. And when my kids want fast food for their Neapolitan milkshake, it's like, come on.
yeah,
And you get out of there for like close to nothing
yeah.
and there's no tip. They don't have a fucking 20% like thing on the kiosk.
Yeah.
All
You just
that.
have to wait in that long ass line, but that's it.
Well,
yeah.
I go in.
Oh, you go in.
I go in.
Yeah.
That's the
hack.
move.
Yeah.
The move is you go in.
Yeah.
And I do it now. My daughter's 15. My son is 8. They order. Like life skills. You got to learn how to order.
Yeah.
You got to order food.
Yeah.
That's a bit. Do you have kids?
I have a stepdaughter.
Okay.
But yeah, she's 10.
Then
yeah.
you have a kid.
Yeah.
You have
Same
a kid.
thing. Yeah.
It is something that a lot of my stuff's gone viral where just being a Gen X guy and being raised in figure it out. I tell my kids the 3 words I tell them the most isn't I love you, it's figure it out. Even though they know I love them. I tell them I love them all the time.
Right.
I'm very affectionate with my kids. I go to the gym with my kids 3 to 4 times a week and work out with my daughter. It's the best bonding ever.
Love that. Yeah.
We go to Lifetime in Green Valley. And
How old are your kids again?
my daughter's 15
Yeah.
and my son's 8.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. And both go to CCSD schools, which we'll talk about that in a second. They both go to just regular schools. My daughter goes to LVA.
Yeah.
And my son's at a middle school or elementary school in Henderson. And for them, it's teaching them the life skills. Like we go out to dinner. There's no electronics, no iPads, no phones, no nothing. We talk.
Yep.
We talk.
Oh yeah, we don't do for us at home, when we cook at home, no phones at the dinner table is a big rule we have. Spend time at night together watching the show to wind down. And when we go grocery shopping, be Trader Joe, she goes and she picks her own lunch and all that too.
That's great.
Teaching life skills.
There is a generation of people being raised now that are being coddled, and the parents are horrific because they're doing everything for the kid. And those kids are being raised as fucking pussies.
Yeah.
And I'm open about it. And I
Yeah.
say that fast forward 10 years from now, when my son is 18 and he's applying for a job somewhere, In-N-Out Burger, wherever, against somebody else that has been raised by a helicopter mom and coddled, my kid will eat that kid's fucking lunch all day long.
And you know what? Just a little bit goes a mile. Just a little bit. It doesn't even have to be as strict as how we were raised. It's just a little bit goes a mile.
You don't have to like spank and smack them around like that.
No.
And I was lucky. I really wasn't that much, but yelled at, like verbal abuse.
Yeah.
And I think, Jesus, back in the 70s and 80s, I spent a third of my life from like 8 to 14 go sit in the car. Go sit in the car. Do that.
Yeah.
Now you're fucking, they're going to call the county on you.
Yeah.
But that was a third of my life during that time frame. I was sitting in the fucking car of my mom's Crown Victoria station wagon.
Right.
Listening to fucking Journey. Going, Jesus Christ.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, I remember being in Chicago. I remember being like 7 or 8 and going to school like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and my mom's running inside to the grocery store and getting food and coming out, and I'm sitting in the car by myself. Like, it was just a different time.
People had no idea.
Yeah.
But
Much
different time. Like, I remember my mom would drink black coffee. She had a mug with an F on it for Fargo. She drove a Mustang. It was a 4-speed. And I would hold on to her coffee and give it to her. And then she would drink the coffee and then she'd tell me when to shift because she had one hand on the steering wheel and one hand on her coffee cup.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm the one, she's like, shift, second, third. I'm like, oh my God, Mom, really?
Wow.
And I'm like 10, 11.
Different time.
Different times.
Yeah.
Where now it's, oh my God, you can't, we're afraid to offend people and the whole thing, which whatever, it's each their own. I'm just like, look, this is how I parent, and I'm not going to tell you how to parent your kids. Don't tell me how to fucking parent my kids. And the big answer I give to people that will come and hate on whatever I'm doing when I post content like that, parenting content, I always say is time will tell.
Yeah.
Time will tell. Let's look and talk to me in 10 years.
Yep. And that's fair.
And let's see what happens. All I know is right now, my daughter and my son are good. My ex and I get along well. We co-parent well. We're not best friends. That's okay. But we are in constant contact, texting about the kids and what's going on, good, bad, or ugly.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Nothing's perfect, but what more could you ask for, right?
That's it. The best you could do as a parent is to create an environment where your kids feel comfortable coming to you. You're not going to explode and lose your mind on them. You just talk to them and go, hey, man, well, my big thing is, all right, well, would you have done that again? Well, no. What'd you learn from that?
Right.
What's the teachable moment that you can create from that? And then it's just building their self-confidence. Being an older, I'll be 55 with an 8-year-old. I parent every day like it's my last. Every fucking day, Daniel. Like
Good for you.
Thank you. Like it's my last. And I'm 4 days a week from 2:30 on, I'm done. I'm done with work. I don't do anything here. My marketing company, I'm done. I do nothing. I'm with my kids.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Love that.
Yeah, like we go work out together. We, my son Jack stays with me 2 nights a week. And so he's with my fiance, and her daughter's 15 and she's great. So we all it's good.
Yeah.
And whether it's there, it's like if he gets on his iPad and wants to play Roblox, go. Go ahead. I'm on my phone doing shit. Go. But then there's times like you hang out together as well.
Right.
And there's that balance because you don't want to create, starve them from something.
No.
Also. So it's interesting. Parenting now is oof. It's I love it. You have a front row seat to the greatest show in the world.
Yeah.
Watching somebody grow up in front of your eyes. But the challenges that kids have now and will be having are nothing like when I was younger.
No, of course not. Yeah. And I think everything just evolves. Like our parents probably thought, oh, fuck, they're fucked, they're fucked. Like, so and we turned out okay. So
it's so true.
Yeah.
It's like, and you think, oh my God, and everyone goes to therapy. I've been in therapy and you're like, oh, my kids, hopefully they will be.
They'll be fine. Yeah.
But they'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll be okay. I want to come back with schools, and this is something we talked about prior because I'm a big one where I'm bringing this up literally on every single episode, regardless who comes in. If you're living in Vegas, our school systems are broken. They're just broken. You've got a multi-billion-dollar budget, and we are last or close to last every single year. What are your feelings about the Clark County School District and what's going on and why it's broken, or what would you do to fix it if you were superintendent?
Well, okay, we'll break this down. So I think I'm a bright side person. I think every city has something fucked up with it. And for me living in Chicago, it was the same thing. It was like they never balanced their checkbook. The roads are always fucked up. They never took care of things in the right time. There's always a budget fucked up somewhere for something when it came to the roads. And we're paying tollways and all that and taxes, all the taxes. It's crazy out there. And the misuse of funds, it's not something I'm new to. So the school district, unfortunately, gets that here. I would say that. I think it's just the misuse of funds. And when you're misusing the funds, everything trickles down from there. The teachers can't do a good job. The system just breaks from there. And on top of that, the school system is so inadequate compared to, in the world we live in today. Everything's changing so much. The school system's due already for a huge revamp. So I think thankfully for Vegas, the problems that go on in Vegas are the two biggest negatives, I say, besides maybe the heat, but the heat when you move here. So I think for someone moving here, it's always going to be the school system, and it's going to be the school system, and it's going to be homelessness. So homelessness is a kind of a nationwide issue right now. So the issues that go on in Vegas are nationwide issues. So
What do you think could be done? Like, do you think that would it help if they broke up the school districts and had Henderson, North Las Vegas?
Yeah, they should do that. I've heard people talk about that. I think that they should. I think the school system's getting too big now. And what's crazy is that the newer schools that are coming into the system now, like Inspirada, are some of the top performing schools. So it's not like the new schools are doing very well. So
I am baffled. Somebody came in comments and said that CCSD a while ago, or Carson City, they hired a consultant to come in from like Detroit to tell them what they needed to hear and to say, you need to break it up.
Yeah.
This needs to break up. And Carson City said, the state capitol said, okay, CCSD, you need to break up. You figure it out. That's what they did. And I'm like, you're letting the fox run the hen house.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? And I'm just, there's stuff like that baffles me. Another one is cannabis tax.
Yeah.
Like like everyone else, it's legal here. I love a gummy every now and then.
Yeah.
I love it. And we were like, it was sold to us. I could be wrong.
It was true.
Sold to us that it's all the money's going to go to the schools, or most of it's going to go to the schools.
And what happened?
Dick.
Yeah.
Dick happened.
The misuse of funds. That's what I was saying. The same thing happened in Chicago. They were, they had the tollways. They upped the prices of how much the tolls were, and then they said, "Oh, well, we haven't balanced our checkbook in 20 years." What? So these issues aren't new. I think it's just a part of us growing, but we need to make that change.
It's getting people in office that are willing to put their necks on the line.
Yeah.
That are willing to not maybe take money from people that have an agenda to keep things the way they are. To get people that may self-funded, or getting money from people that go, here, I don't care what you fucking do. I love what you're doing. Just take my money. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Here's $100,000. That's what needs to happen, because of the outright corruption going on in this town with the cannabis tax, with CCSD, with homelessness. Why? And you think of the billions of dollars that get generated here.
Yeah.
Billions, Daniel. And the absolute travesty of
just negligence.
It is outright negligence that happens here. And I don't have an answer for it, but the more I can keep talking about it, the more then, and I just look at it this way from a social media standpoint, we talk about it, it becomes a clip, and I add you as a collaborator, and it goes out to a bigger audience, and maybe that inspires somebody who's in the position to run for county commissioner, city council in Henderson, school board, whatever, to say, you know what, I've fucking had it with this. This is the straw that breaks the camel's back. I'm going to do something about it.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because it's not a one-way fix. There's not one way to fix it. It's a trickle down. So I think misuse of funds is definitely a great place to start. I've gotten it from teachers. I see the DMs from teachers that will say, hey, instead of, me getting my resources to do this, I see them putting up fucking murals and all this other shit, right? So and the schools don't even, I think it's safe to say that they say our schools don't look good. They all look like jails. I know you've seen those memes. So it's not like the schools are looking better to begin with. So it's like, where are these funds going, right?
They all look like fucking jails.
Yeah.
It's the same architect. It's got to be the same fucking architect.
Why don't we have more outdoor campuses it's crazy.
It to me, like, this is a microcosm of it. And I, again, being at my age, I pick up my son at the bus 4 days a week. I pick him up, and I get him yesterday, and usually the bus stops like right here. And this time it stopped like 30 feet down. I'm like, that's weird. So Jack comes off the bus, and he gets in the car. I'm like, how you doing, honey? Good. How was school? Good. He said, the bus driver said the F word. And I about fucking hit the roof. Now, again, you can't play poker. It's your kid. You can't overreact. Yeah. But I'm like, I'll fucking napalm that motherfucker's house. How dare he use that kind of language in front of my 8-year-old son?
Right.
I really try not to swear in front of my kids. It's crazy. Because now it's like East Coast, you fucking just Midwest, East Coast,
just
fucking just do it. Right? But with my kids, I just don't. And he said, but I know it's a bad word. I'm never going to say that word. I said, honey, good for you. And my first question when he said that was, when he said the bus driver said the F word, I said, is it a new bus driver? Yes. It's not the same bus driver. And I'm like, I know the principal of the school. I have her email. I want to email her and go, hey, this happened, but then I'm like, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, but another thing too is that when you go to have same thing, when you have a concern about transportation, it's a whole different department. It's not even the school. It's the transportation authority or whatever. I don't even know what the name of it is.
Well, it's all down, you go south of the strip.
Yeah.
It's like by the M.
Yes.
Is that whole like yard. It's a whole lot there's hundreds of buses there.
Yeah. It's like, I thought at least, I mean, I was too young to probably remember, but if you had an issue with a bus driver or something with transportation, you called the school and they would deal with, the transportation issues. Yeah. It's weird how it's separate out here. I think that's one thing.
What's different, again, and I'll talk about this and I might get in trouble for it, but that's fine. That's why we're here to be vulnerable a little bit, is my son, like his dad, has ADHD. Mm-hmm. And so he's a chit-chatter. Mm-hmm. He's very compassionate. He's empathetic, Daniel. He's a good kid. And
it's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. He just is. He's like, you can look at my shorts. I had him on an episode here. Mm-hmm. He's like, I enjoy being kind to people, regardless if they're kind back. I'm like, oh. And so he got written up. He gave me an envelope last week. He got a little check mark that came, and he was the bus driver told everyone to be quiet on the bus for some reason, and he kept talking. And he got a class 2 violation. He got a little check mark.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I'm like, and I guess somebody at the school met with him about it, which I never was told about that. I'm like, you're meeting with my kid, it's disciplinary, and you didn't tell his mom or me about it. Mm-hmm. I don't like that. I'm okay with you reprimanding him. It's fine. Yeah. But I asked him, what happened? He says, well, we were told not to talk anymore, and I wanted to let my friend I was sitting next to make sure that she or he didn't talk, and they were asleep.
He got written up for doing some like overly good, right?
Overly good. And I go, honey, it's okay. What you did, always listen to the bus driver, but slow down next time with your brain.
Yeah.
And if that person's asleep, they're probably not going to talk unless they're talking in their sleep.
What a good kid.
Right? But what a good kid. And you get written up for that. I'm like, fuckers, but okay, I get it. Mm-hmm. I totally get it. But to go back to your point about the disassociation between the bus drivers and the school buses and the schools, there's something there because this came from the bus driver, but the school was the one that someone at the school met with Jack about it, which is fine.
Yeah.
Again, I'm okay with that. I would have liked it if they would have sent an email or something. Like what they did was in a sealed envelope to the parent or guardian of Jack Fargo. Mm-hmm. And so I see that in his backpack, in his folder. But I'm like, I would have liked it better if you would have been like, hey, this happened. But like they met with him like the day it happened. Like they were on it. Super fast. Love that. Yeah. Love that. And he's in Henderson, a really 10 out of 10 middle school. Yeah. Love it. But the way they did it, I'm just like, come on, man. Yeah. Like, I go to all the open houses. I'm there, man. I'm an involved parent. I was on the SOT, the school organization team last year for Jack's school. Like I'm there. Mm-hmm. But it's just that kind of stuff. You're like, oh, and I know this is nationwide, but to get a Amazon wish list every semester, I can't believe that the schools can't afford like reams of paper. Mm-hmm. And it's hundreds, if not thousands of dollars that are. And I'm blessed that I'm okay. So I do what I can. Like, and the teacher's always thankful about it. Mm-hmm. But I tell them, I go, no offense, you're benefiting because you have my kid. Mm-hmm. And every other kid here is going to benefit because I'll take down half that list for you because I don't want my son to go without.
Right.
And my job is to make my kids' lives better. I'll eat rice and beans so my kids can benefit. That's a job as a parent. Of course.
Yeah.
That's a job as a parent.
Yeah.
But the fact that I have to do that is crazy. When I was a kid, they never did that.
No.
That was never, there was always money, like stuff was just fucking paid for.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, same here. We noticed that too. I thought I was the only one who dealt with that. But yeah, the middle school that we have, our daughter in right now too, fucking excellent middle school. It's actually, we moved. So there are little gems when it comes to schools out here. I think that's one thing that we got to talk about too. There are gems out here. It's not like all the schools are bad. Like, even if you're not in private school, there's still gems. We moved into the school district to get her into this school. It's a magnet school, but it's one of, if not the first magnet middle school in Las Vegas. And they have the curriculum that they have is a godfather than curriculum. So no other school can even have that curriculum. I think in the state of Nevada.
No shit.
So at least in Las Vegas, they can't have that curriculum.
And she loves it.
Yeah, she's definitely more challenged, but yeah, she loves it though.
Good.
She's more included. That's what I was telling her too. I was like, hey, if you're not challenged, it's not you're not learning.
The worst thing that can happen is you ask your kid, how is school? The worst thing they could say is, I'm bored.
Yep. And that was last year. A lot of I'm bored. I've learned all this already. But now it's like, oh, I got this homework. I got this. I was like, good.
I love that for her.
Good. Yeah.
I love that. Good for her.
Yeah,
good for all of you.
Yeah, she's made huge strides this year. She's always been a smart kid, but it's just the thing of having a teacher that will push her. And these teachers that she has now, excellent teachers. So
I think that when I was married and we lived in St. George, and at that time, my wife at the time was a school teacher. Mm-hmm. Bless her heart, she's the one that saved us. She did her homework. Yeah. And found out at that time I took a job with Greenspun Media Group. And so we're looking at Henderson. Mm-hmm. Coronado, 10 out of 10. Every feeder school going into Coronado, 10 out of 10. Mm-hmm. So that's what we did.
Yeah.
And knock on wood, we've been okay. My daughter got into performing arts. So, she ended up going to Thurman White, which is a performing arts middle school.
Yeah.
Phenomenal school. Oh my God.
That's awesome.
And I loved it where you go to the orientation and they're like, if you want to play the tuba, and you never played the fucking tuba, we'll give you a tuba to play. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah.
For people with that artistic mindset, so you're right. People will bag on CCSD, but our magnet schools here
are great.
Are fucking top notch.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
No, I was saying, the school that we have are in, it's like all the clubs that they have and all the teams are traveling. Like the robotics team goes to Hawaii. It's like, that's freaking awesome.
Will she do any of that stuff?
She's kind of finding her way right now and finding what she's interested in, but she's definitely leaning more artsy, but she's looking at robotics too. So we're going to get her in robotics. I think it's starting in October. I think sometime in October.
You get her into engineering?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care how many fucking followers you have. You guys are done. You can retire. And she can fucking take care of you. Like, that's it. That is an evergreen, with AI and everything now, that is an evergreen position is engineering. Mm-hmm. Like mechanical engineering, anything like that. Jack is in the GATE program, Gifted and Talented program. Mm-hmm. They have like school level Legos they're playing with.
That's awesome.
Like not the, retarded fucking giant Legos that we played with as kids. These are like, and I saw it at the open house, like these gray boxes. It's literally just for schools. They're building robots.
That's awesome.
They're doing, next they're going to be doing drones.
Wow.
He's in 3rd grade.
That's crazy.
It's awesome.
That is awesome.
If you were to talk to Jack Fargo right now, Jack, when you grow up, what do you want to be? I want to be an engineer. Or,
that's incredible.
Or I want to go into something, he'll say something in space, maybe an astronaut or engineering in space. Yeah. Related to space. I'm like, oh, because with education right now, if he was to come to me graduating from high school and say, I want to go to UNLV, I don't know what I want to do. I would say, fuck you very much. Mm-hmm. I'm not spending money on that.
Yeah, no.
I want to go for liberal arts. Fuck you very much. I want to go to be a lawyer. I want to go to be a doctor. I want to go to be an accountant. I want to go to be an engineer.
Yeah.
Done. Mm-hmm. Done. And I will eat rice and beans so you can go.
Yep.
You go to a good state school, because our state schools are very good here. Mm-hmm. UNR and UNLV are excellent.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with those for undergrads. And actually some of the grad programs are pretty good too. Mm-hmm. Go. But the undergrad, like when I went to little St. John Fisher College in Rochester, New York, drank my fucking face off. I stayed an extra year. Yeah. I got a double major and stayed an extra year just to get shit-faced. It's crazy. And smoke weed. The end.
Yeah.
But now it's like, especially all the shit going on, like all the protests that happen, like at Harvard and UCLA, and you're like, I don't want to know what that costs a year. Mm-hmm. And you're letting these kids like burn the American flag?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. So I would say the entire system is getting revamped. So I said like we're saying, like issues. It's like a nationwide issue when it comes to the school system. But for me, I think definitely we're talking like middle schools and all that right now and like younger. I think middle school is so crucial, and that's why I wanted to get her into a really good middle school too. Because by the time high school comes around, the brain is more mature. They're going to work it out anyway, and they're going to decide what they want to do.
Yeah.
She might throw everything away and say she wants to be a singer. Okay, start up a TikTok channel and start singing, right? So she's already doing it with ASMR. She wants to do ASMR videos and all that. So
how does that make you feel, being a content creator?
It's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. She loves when she comes along with us. She has her phone and she shoots content as well too, and does all that. So it's really awesome. She likes to go live and stuff. It's private. But she likes to go live and everything. So, but it's the influence, right? So
for her, what a reflection of her confidence to see, even though it's private, to be cool to go live.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Daniel, that's fucking awesome.
Yep. And she's not shy either. She's talkative. She loves to talk. I mean, she's very friendly. Same thing, very helpful, very big heart for for people, loves to be the leader. So
that's great.
It's awesome.
Have you, I'm going to come back to this. Do you do podcasts a lot? Because this has been great. Like we're an hour in and this has been fucking, you're awesome.
Yeah,
This has been
thank
fun.
you.
Yeah.
No, not often. No, I've done a few.
You should consider it sometime. I would just put yourself out there that if people like have ones to go on them.
Yeah.
And because I would like my goal, if they do it, great. If not, that's okay. But that one of my kids says, hey, I want to do a podcast. Would you help me? And the minute one of them was to say that, I'm like, we're starting Fargo's Talk.
Yep. I love that.
Like under the umbrella of this, and have just one of my kids or both of my kids come on, their friends come on, and it's just kids content we're creating. And like, that's my dream. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. But every parent has that quiet little thing that they want to steer their kids into.
Right.
Just like if you have more than one kid, you have a fucking favorite kid. You just do.
Yeah.
And if you say you don't, you're fucking lying. You don't love the other one less. It's just, you just have more in common with the other one. And so that's my thing, is like, I would love to have one of my kids say, I want to be on like a podcast. I'm like, oh, let's roll.
That would be really cool.
Let's roll. And so I'm just thinking, if she's already doing lives, it's something you might want to consider.
Yeah.
To say, what if we start a podcast together? And, what's that look like? And, and all that. And how do you put the content out? And who's your audience? And how do you find your audience? And, but really it just comes down to like, is it maybe just a podcast and doing ASMR stuff on the podcast? How fucking cool would that be? Yeah. And regardless, you get 3 people download it. Who cares? Yeah. It's
encouraging. Practicing, it's encouraging. Yeah, exactly.
I think that's, to me, what we need to do as parents is use by every resource available and by going by intuition.
Going by intuition. Yep.
There's a million books on parenting, but guess what? The best parenting book is if I can just be present. Yeah. Just be present. Just be in the room with them, man. And even, if you're on your phone, fine, but try to dial it down when you're with them and just be there. So they're comfortable talking to you. Right. So if they have a question, because being a kid now is not easy.
No, it's not.
And so just to be a resource to them, I think is absolutely fucking huge. All right. I want to pivot. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
There's just stuff you want to keep talking about with this. Please do.
No, I'll say no. I think we're good. Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about the A's. Okay. I was at MGM I had a client event I helped put on, and it was in the Skylofts. And so you're driving by, and there's a trop, which usually they don't gut a property like that before there's an implosion. I'm like, okay, whatever. Do you think the A's are going? First question is this: do you think the A's are even going to be coming to Las Vegas?
I think they will. I think it just makes sense. I think the league wants it more than anything else. The city wants it. The league wants it, so they will make it happen. It's just, it looks so hairy and it looks so fuzzy right now, and Bally's looks incompetent, but I think it will work out just for the sake of the league and the bigger picture. It finds a way to work out.
Well, I want to challenge you on that, because you have a big brain that I respect.
Thank you.
Okay,
yeah.
You're welcome. You
appreciate
do.
that.
Yeah, you do. And ownership says they have no money, basically. Bally's, the landowner, says they have no money. The state really isn't ponying up that much for it. Where is the money going to come from?
I don't know.
Right? Like
you got no idea.
Right? Like that's, to me, like that's the 32-cent question. Like where we're located, this studio, Rio's right next door. There's talk about them blowing up the Rio and it going there. That's been talked about. it is, to me, the challenge is like when the Raiders came, Mark Davis was like, let's roll. I'm going to put money into this thing. I'm going to, this is how much I'm going to put in. Let's go. Is it Jeff Fisher?
Jeff Fisher, yeah.
Right? So Jeff Fisher, owner of the A's, of the Oakland A's, doesn't have that type of reputation.
No.
Like people in Oakland hate him.
Yeah.
The A's fans in Oakland hate Jeff Fisher for what he's done, how he's bled the team dry, and just created this self-fulfilling prophecy for them to leave. That no one goes to the games because there's not good talent on the field and this whole thing. And now he's saying, we're going to move to Vegas. And was this week, I think, where he did a press release saying, I'm so sorry. I wish things could have been better. I mean, horrible optics, by the way.
Yeah, awful.
Awful optics.
I saw them tearing him up, too, in the news and all that. So, you haven't taken an interview from us in how many years, right? I think you saw that one. So,
I saw the one. It was a sportscaster. It was excellent. Out of the Bay Area that was like, Jeff, I've been trying to talk to you for over 10 years. Nothing. How dare you say this? This is a travesty, and it's by you. You're the one that captained the Titanic on this thing.
Yeah.
So that's what gives me pause. I am all about economic development. I want the A's here.
Yeah.
I'll fly that flag all day long, Daniel.
Yeah.
What bothers me is nobody of the three entities that have a major part of the A's coming here have really stepped up to say, I'm going to make this thing happen. Hop on my back.
Yeah. Well, that's why they're giving it a few years to work out, right? That's why they're not playing out here in the meantime. They're playing in Sacramento.
Which is a great point.
Yeah.
Maybe they're playing poker and they're waiting to see who blinks first.
Yeah.
With Bally's, at least it gets that off the tax rolls because, the Trop had a renovation years ago, but that was lipstick on a pig.
Yeah.
They should blow up the Hooters Oyo. They should blow that thing up too.
Yeah, that should have been gone.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Blow all that up. That's it. Again, to me, I'm not a casino developer, and I understand that there's an economic reason for the Excalibur and for Luxor. However, if a brand new multi-billion-dollar stadium comes in, you better be blowing up those two properties and putting in brand new middle to upper class properties. And with a pedestrian walkway to go over and the whole 9 yards, do all that to let people even more, because most people now that go to Raiders games, I had clients come in from Denver.
Yeah.
They timed their event for the Raiders game. And they stay at MGM and went to the Raiders game, had a great time, and spent a fuck ton of money. My one client's a rated blackjack player at MGM. So he spends money and brought his friends that all spend money. You look at it from that perspective, I see it working at the Trop site. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think it's a whole 5 to 7 to 10 year thing before it's really like Luxor, Excalibur, all that stuff, gets wipe them off.
Yeah, and a lot can happen between now and then too. We saw how quick it happened with Trop, so.
A lot can happen. And that's the best part of Vegas is with economic development, if we want something, it happens fast.
Yeah.
Look at Allegiant.
Yeah.
That happened
quick as hell.
Fast.
Yeah.
And that's a $2 billion-ish development. Done.
Yeah.
And I've yet to go to a game. I took Jack a couple of years ago just to tour the facility. Oh my God.
It's gorgeous.
Oh my, translucent roof.
Yeah.
Natural grass field.
Yeah.
So less injuries for the players. It's world-class facility.
Yeah, even the new Soldier Field that they're proposing in downtown Chicago looks exactly like the inside of Allegiant Stadium.
It's got to be the same architectural firm.
It's got to
just goes around and pitches kind of here's A, B, or C. Which one do you want?
It's like the same concept. Yeah, exactly.
And especially because I played Division III, but I played college football. When you play on turf, you're like, oh. But then you see natural grass. That extends your playing life for years. For years. And so to do it here, and they bring the field goes out, it's out in the sun with the sprinklers. And home run. Yep. Absolute home run. And that now the arena style concerts that we have here that we could never get before, is huge. I love that. We're getting like Sting and Billy Joel.
Yeah. WrestleMania too now. It's like
WrestleMania. I'm watching, by the way, I just started watching last night the Vince McMahon.
Oh, yeah?
Is on Netflix. Ooh.
I haven't seen it yet.
Ooh, are you a wrestling guy?
I used to be growing up.
So growing up, I was, not anymore, but I grew up with like Hogan, Iron Sheik. I grew up with all those guys.
Oh yeah, I used to watch the old VHS tapes of like the old Andre the Giant.
Oh my God. So
Hogan,
you need to watch. I'm on the second episode.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Okay.
It says as a preface, it doesn't, a lot of it was filmed before all the sexual harassment stuff came out, but they do mention it so far, but it's good.
Okay.
Like how these guys were working 7 days a week, 365 days a year. No union. Jesse Ventura tried to do a union, and Hulk Hogan ratted him out to Vince McMahon.
That's crazy.
And so no one participated. And
that'd be awesome for a behind the scenes look into all that.
It's so good. It's so good. And what, love him or hate him, what Vince McMahon inherited, bought it from his dad. Not inherit. He bought it from his dad and took it from a regional little WWF in the Northeast part of the United States. And there was sections that there were different wrestling leagues, federations all over. And he just was like, I'm growing. He took the best of each league and brought them in.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, he was Dana White before Dana White.
Exactly.
Before, more entertainment.
Exactly. Yeah. That's brilliant to say that, dude.
Yeah.
He was the Dana White before there was Dana White.
Mm-hmm.
And this, again, his personal stuff, you put that aside for a second. You give credit where credit's due in terms of business acumen. Smart motherfucker, workaholic.
Yeah.
Like Dana White, driven.
Yeah.
For growth. For growth. Like, look what Dana did at the Sphere with UFC.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
What'd you see? What have you seen there?
Well, I've been around. I haven't seen a show there.
Okay.
But I've been around, yeah.
I saw you too.
Yeah.
And I took a gummy and microdosed.
Oh, it's got to be awesome.
Here's my advice to you, and for anybody that goes, is do not sit in the lower level because there's a thing that goes over that you don't get to see the entire thing. You want second level, in the middle third is where you want. There's no second and third level and up, there's no bad seats. But you really want that second level.
Yeah.
The acoustics are perfect because there's no edges for the sound to die. That's the key. So a buddy of mine came out from Long Island. We went to saw U2. Lady Gaga came out and sang 3 songs. And even Bono was just like this. Like, to hear her, and you could hear her, like we were close, you could hear her voice in the difference from the microphone and the amps because the acoustics are so good. And again, the place is fucking pricey. Like you're going to pay hundreds of dollars for nosebleed seats. But it is a experience you can't get for now anywhere else in the world.
No, yeah. Except for Dubai.
I saw that.
Soon. Yeah.
Which they'll have it built in a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Those fuckers, Dubai will build an island from out of the water, out of the ocean, and build a Dubai Sphere within 7 days.
Wouldn't it be crazy if they could do that here?
Great.
Build a beach somewhere? That'd be fucking
awesome. Well, everyone does. You might have done it before. You see like April Fool's jokes.
Yeah.
And people put out there like, oh, the Wynn is now building, this giant, 15-acre lake with a wave pool. Yeah. And it's always on it's April 1st, assholes.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Well, I put out that April Fool's joke this year that went crazy. The beach, the $10 billion beach, it was kind of like a copy off the Wynn Lagoon. But I was like, no, they're going to put it right off the 15, right by the Rio.
And how many, when you do April Fool's content, how many people actually they think it's real?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw it getting reposted. It still gets reposted. I still get comments on that. I think it was 2 weeks ago, I got comments on my video about, I saw that there's a beach coming to Vegas. And it was like, yeah, you saw my video from, 3 or 4 months ago. Yeah. It's crazy.
Do you ever, again, you said before, most of your content elicits positive comments.
Yeah.
Right? If and when there's that needle in a haystack or it's a negative or just kind of a snarky comment, do you go back at them or do you just let it go?
I used to. I stopped doing that, man. It's not worth the energy.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I think that I still go back sometimes. I use ChatGPT and I'll be like, here's the comment. Here's a transcript of the video. Create 5 funny replies for me.
That's a smart way to detach from it. I like that.
I do that because, and I say funny, and I say don't be mean to the AI, and it creates, like, sometimes I'll do it in the style of Dave Chappelle. and it comes up with hilarious comments. So I'd say about 50% of my replies to negative stuff is AI generated.
That's
and
smart.
It's great. But and also, if they just say, fuck you, you're bald. Well, then I can't do anything with that. I just leave it and go, okay, I'll leave like the bald emoji.
Yeah.
I'll do that. If they're really mean, then they just get blocked. They're done. I'm a samurai, man. I'm fucking Shogun. Just fucking, you're gone.
Yeah.
But if they're like keyboard courage, keyboard warrior, and they're saying something because they say something about Trump or Vegas schools, some have gone viral here. People have come on and said Summerlin is the greatest community in all of all the United States, and people lost their minds about that. Like, Scottsdale came in and said "fuck you." Miami came in and said "fuck you," and so some of that stuff.
Well, that's pride. Yeah,
and it's also perspective.
Perspective.
A lot of it is my most watched clip is a friend of mine came in and said the most beautiful women in the country are in Scottsdale, Arizona.
I saw that one. Yeah.
Brandon Bowski. And I love Brandon. Brandon's a high net worth guy, a great guy. Gives zero fucks. Doesn't care. And the people that came in, some of them were like, they loved it. Yep, been there. They're all 10s. Or people like, well, if you like blondes with fake boobs and whatever the butt lift thing is and the lips and all that. And my reply to them is, it's a look.
Yeah.
That's a look some guys might be into.
Yeah.
But other people are like, never been to Medellin, never been to Miami, never been to New York, LA, like bring all these places. Some people mention Vegas for beautiful women. And so I've seen that you get comments when people say something location specific. They're like, how
it triggers.
dare you? It triggers them.
Yeah.
How dare you say there's beautiful women in Scottsdale?
I know. I did a video too that comes to my mind now. I just made the report about the new richest area in Las Vegas, and it was like the thing about Southwest passing Summerlin, I think, having the Southwest region. I remember that one went off. I didn't expect that one to go off. I think it got like 3 or 4 million views. And same thing, it was just like the news press release. I'm like, don't shoot the messenger. Like, this is what they said. So, and it's based on this and where data comes into play. Sometimes like this and this data, this is what they said. So
what's your most watched clip? What was it? What was the content?
The most watched one, I think, was actually a remix of the Sphere on the NHL draft. I think that's my most watched video now. Or it's the Poppy Steak video. The Poppy Steak video, I think, is closing on like 10 million views. The one with the Sphere that I just remixed got like 13 or 14 million. So
good for you.
Yeah.
That's so good. I have last question regarding like food and beverage that I have to ask you.
Yeah.
What are your top 3 favorite places to go for drinks if you're going to have a drink? And what do you order in Las Vegas?
I'm definitely going to, so the top 3 for me that come to my mind, Herbs and Rye, Legacy Club, and a new gem that not a lot of people are talking about, the Collins at Fontainebleau. The cocktail lounge that looks kind of like the hotel lobby. Excellent fucking cocktails.
What do you order?
The Collins at Fontainebleau. I order something different every time I go. I have to look at the menu again to see what this is. It's almost like it's almost like a sandstone, one of the cocktails that they have. I can't remember the name of it.
It's okay.
But if I pull up the menu, I could show you. It's really good.
I want to conclude on this one. An hour and a half. I could talk to you all day, dude. Thank you, by the way, for coming in. This has been great. Yeah. This has been fun. Is Fontainebleau.
Yeah.
I had Vegas Starfish come in, Jenny.
Yeah.
Who I love her. Her content's great. She's a good person. And she was talking, I asked her, I go, what's your favorite place on this trip? She said Fontainebleau by far. And people either agreed, but I'd say 65% no. Totally like when it said that the gaming there is like it's like a ghost town. It's just, they don't have, it's just not dialed in. There's no vibe. It's very sterile. What are your feelings about Fontainebleau?
I like Fontainebleau. I think that it gets a bad rap. I think that the restaurants are very good. I think they have, this is what I'll say. You could run this back. I think Fontainebleau probably has the best restaurants on the Las Vegas Strip right now. In terms of a collective in a casino resort, Fontainebleau has the best restaurants right now. The best lineup.
Why is no one going there? Or is that a fallacy?
I think they are. I think it's just a fallacy. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's just, it's a fad. A local fad, I think.
If full disclosure, I haven't been yet. So if I'm going to go and take my fiance, it's date night, what is the one restaurant at Fontainebleau I have to go to, and what should I order?
I would go to, well, I have not been to Don's Prime, but I've heard very good things about Don's Prime. I'm going to try that one soon. But I did go to Poppy Steak, and I thought Poppy Steak was actually really good. So
What'd you get?
We tried we tried a bunch of different things because we went on with a group, but we tried the steak that was in the beef case, and the steak was actually really good. It was an Australian Wagyu. I thought it was really good. They charge you more because of the show, so it's the $1,000 for the show or whatever. But the steak itself, if you order, it's like $200 or $300, which is still expensive. But by Vegas standards, it's like
that's not bad.
It's kind of on par, maybe a little bit more expensive. But I remember the Brussels sprouts there being very good.
Crunchy,
definitely crunchy. Yeah, I love that. They're the tartare was excellent there too. So they have a really good menu. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
This has been great.
Yeah,
this has been fun. I'd love to have you come back on sometime.
Yeah, we should.
I'd love to maybe get through the holidays. Mm-hmm. And then get your feeling about, because it's people come here for Christmas and New Year's and all that stuff, and to talk about like the holidays, Vegas, like what to do, what not to do. Mm-hmm. I really want to have you come back on sometime. Actually, I got somebody else said I want to bring on like Brandon and have you and Brandon come on together, and let's talk about like off strip. Where are you going for drinks, for lunch, for breakfast, for dinner, just for experiences? I think that is something that people don't even think about when they come here.
No. Yeah, it's kind of a hodgepodge of places, but you don't have like a tailored list of like, hit this, hit this, hit that. So
I would love to do an episode like that. And I know that cool. he'd be down for something like that.
Yeah.
I will, Brandon, you're going to be, by the time this comes out, you'll be getting hit up.
Yeah.
So, all right, brother. Thank you.
Do that.